Home Media.
This episode is sponsored by Big Fish Bail Bonds. Big Fish Bail Bonds is your first choice in bondsmen. We are located 3 blocks away from the Sedgwick County Jail in Wichita, Kansas. We accept all major credit cards and we accept payment plans on big bonds with no collateral in some cases. Find us at bigfishbailbonds.us or give us a call at 316-262-4100. Big Fish Bail Bonds. Big or small, we release them all.
Best Rate for the Win. I'm Ashley McClure with IVP Benefits Consulting Group. We want to help you or your company find the best health, dental, and vision insurance rates available without sacrificing any benefits. Call us at 620-904-7010 to find your winning rate.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. I'm your host, Ricky Chabruggi, and up here in Kansas and down there in Arizona. Join me, Derek. How you doing today, Derek?
Doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good. Going out tonight on a Thursday night. We do have a football game going on, but no Kansas team, so we should be all right.
Man, didn't even know there was a game tonight. Oh, well.
Yeah, Thursday night football is like a thing now. It's been going on for 4 or 5 years now, but yeah, that's a night of the week that there's a game, and from what I understand, it's like I think it's like streaming. I think you have to watch Thursday night football on streaming now, like maybe on Amazon. Wow. And there's a lot of people that are saying it's not a very good signal, and yeah. So, and I got a cold, by the way. Roxanne Ann Fisher here, Esther Unruh in the house. Micah Rashawn, where did the beard go? I've had a beard since 2009. I just got tired of it, so I went out and bought some a razor. I haven't owned a razor in 10 years, so I bought a razor and some Barbasol, and here we are. Here we are. Heather Toledo in Topeka. We got Trisha Arnold over in YouTube.
Yeah, and Ellen's here too.
Kelly Uphoff says finally. Rodney Cox. We got Jordan Radloff. He's a good friend of mine. And then Micah's in Ulysses. And this is important, everybody. Trisha shared the feed. Please share everywhere that you can possibly. We want to get as many people in here as possible so we can get these flyers out in front of as many people as possible. Right. Thank you, Roxanne. My wife hates it. My wife hates me without a beard.
I periodically will trim my goatee and mustache down shorter, but cutting it off is non-negotiable. It's not happening.
My wife is pretty upset by it, to tell you the truth, man. She does not like it. What up, baby blue eyes? My wife does not like it when I shave my beard. But it's my body, Ricky. My body. My choice. Missy Hilton says hello. Oh, Kelly says this is her highlight of the week. That's awesome. Trina says watching from Wichita before she goes to work. Awesome. Micah shared it. I know it's No Shave November, and I shaved. Norm told me that last night. He's like, it's No Shave November, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. I never even heard of that. Oh, well.
Well, Norm said, so No Shave November has been a thing for a long time, but Norm said he used to coach over in Liberal, Kansas, and they had a coach that got cancer several years back, and he had chemo, so they all did No Shave November in observance for their buddy who couldn't grow a beard. And Norm's been rocking a beard for about 6 months now, and he wants to shave his, but he's going to keep it for November, he said.
I was laughing at Roxanne's comment down there.
Exactly. No, you should have seen it, Rodney. I left it with just a mustache for a couple of days, and I looked like I belonged on a poster. I looked like a criminal with my mustache. My wife definitely made me get rid of that. Wait till she gets older and she has to... Won't be too long. I got to go against the grain, Jordan. That's true. I got to go against the grain. Everybody's got beards now, so I'm not going to have a beard. And everybody's got thick glasses. I'm going to stop wearing glasses altogether. I'm getting contacts. I'm just going opposite of everybody. I think you did look like a criminal. Yes, I did. And that's why I shaved it off, Kelly. I didn't look trustworthy. I wore it to work one day and people were looking at me funny. So I was like, nope, I can't rock up a mustache. I'm not my dad. I'm not my dad. Well, we have a big show to get to. We got a lot of stuff going on. What do you know about this Delphi arrest?
Well, somebody apparently they'd been looking at for a while, amongst others, of course. But what was his name? His last name is Allen, I believe. But they haven't really released much. They had a press conference Monday, and I mean, they said a lot, but they didn't really say much. I mean, they were talking, talking about it. It was finally the day that they got justice for Libby and Abby, and congratulating each other and this and that and the other. But as far as details, they said that today wasn't going to be the day for details, that they couldn't release anything right now in the terms of details because the investigation's still ongoing. They said the affidavit was sealed, search warrant was sealed. So, I mean, there really wasn't much.
But it wasn't the guy that they were kind of looking at, the younger guy that was
no, wasn't that
using the fake
Anthony
profile.
guy? This was a 50-year-old guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. It's a really weird case. You know how the guy in the video told him to get down in the ditch, and then they were found dead later.
Let's see if I can dig up his name just real quick here.
Yeah. And we do have 34 people watching on Reddit. Thanks for tuning in. You can join the conversation on Facebook, and you can join the conversation on YouTube as well if you want your comments to end up on the screen.
Yeah, they arrested 50-year-old Richard M. Allen of Delphi.
Yeah, Richard M. Allen. Well, so I'm glad that there's movement on that case. We cover enough cases to know that they don't always get resolutions. So it's good to know that there's an arrest, and hopefully the public will know sooner than later. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Nothing's bringing those girls back, and it's not our job to solve it. It's up to the police to handle that. So it sounds like they're doing their job.
Roxanne says they're still looking at the other guy too.
Well, he looked like he needed to be looked at for other reasons. I mean, the guy looked pretty odd.
Posing as another guy and trying to get nude videos and pics from teenagers, and it's just like,
a little shady.
He needs to sit for a good long time.
A little shady. I'm glad at this point to light on him. Well, let's go ahead and get into some cases. You're watching the Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. Let's talk about Donald Cortland Sager. We've covered this one probably 2 or 3 times since I've been, co-hosting the show with you. And, this is one of those ones that it was so long ago and he would be 92 now. So it's hard to think that Donald will be with us anymore. Right. Not a lot of people make it to 92, but I like that we cover it because it just shows you that you should never give up on a missing person, no matter how much time goes by.
Yeah, Matt actually spoke to me last week. We had his relatives comment in the comments to the show last week while we were doing the show, and she asked that I contact her after the show, and I did, and we spoke for a while, and now she's put me in contact with another family member, and I've reached out to that family member and I haven't heard back yet, but we'll see if I hear back from her.
Yeah, I remember that comment.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently they feel like they know who did it, but the person that did it possibly or has already passed away themselves. So it's just a matter of finding Donald. But he's missing from La Harpe, Kansas since February 29th, 1984. He was 53 when he went missing. He'd now be 92. 6 foot tall, weighs 180 pounds, has light brown graying hair and blue eyes. He was last seen at about 11 p.m. on February 29th, 1984. His pickup was parked outside his mobile home. His billfold, clothes, and some money were found inside the mobile home, and there were no signs of a struggle found in the home. Has not been heard from or seen since then. Again, he was 53 when he went missing. He would now be 92. He's 6 foot tall, weighs 180 pounds, has light brown hair that's graying and blue eyes. If you have any information regarding Donald's disappearance, you know his whereabouts, please call the Allen County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 620-365-1400 or 620-365-1400 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. See if we can help get Donald located and back home where he needs to be.
And you're talking to, how are they related to him, the Ken that you're talking to?
I'm trying to remember. I think Let's see. One's a granddaughter, which this is I believe they might both be granddaughters for that matter. I will have to double check on that because I know she mentioned it to me before last week, and like I said, we've talked since then. And I can't remember how she told me she was related.
Yeah. On that Delphi case, Chris Unruh is saying the younger guy they were looking at, his attorney wants his child pornography charges dropped.
I don't think they should be.
Nah, I don't think those are things you drop. I don't think you look the other way on child pornography.
Yeah.
I wouldn't look the other way.
No, definitely not. He needs to sit. I mean, if he's sitting there, pressuring these teen girls to send videos, or not pressure, but coerce, trying to get that stuff from them. And I guess in some cases they did send it. And, and apparently he did even go as far as to like one of, I believe it was Libby's photos on her Instagram, I believe.
Wow. Salty Monkey is here tonight.
I like the little picture there. It's cute.
Trina Renee says prayers that all the people that are missing come home safe and sound. Very heartbreaking. My little cousin has been missing for years from Wichita.
Have I done a flyer for him or her?
Yeah, have we covered your cousin?
Yeah.
We would love to if we have.
Yeah, if we have, we'll definitely do it.
I wanted to talk about this Missouri case. I was wondering what the main reason you were sharing it again, because we've covered her case several times. I was hoping there was an update, but I don't know if there is or not.
Just mainly to keep her out there. I mean, she's missing from Kansas City, Missouri since May 23rd of this year. She's 22, 5'2", 120 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. She went missing around 12:40 in the afternoon when she got into an unknown gray vehicle with an unknown male. That car has since been located. She'd also she took her cat with her because she very rarely ever leaves her cat anywhere. And as a matter of fact, the surveillance photos that have been put on the flyers that you see where she's wearing the crop top and the black pants, she was actually going back in to get her cat when those pictures were snapped. But the cat has since been recovered as well. Abby was last seen wearing that tan crop shirt, black leggings, and gray Nike sandals. She was last seen by her family at her personal residence on surveillance video. Abby was taken to an address in the South Kansas City, Missouri area where she was observed entering an address but never exiting. If you have any information regarding Abby's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Kansas City, Missouri Department Sex Crimes Missing Persons Unit at 816-234-5220 and let them know what you know regarding her case and see if we can't get her located. We really need to get her located.
That's a long time to be missing, especially under those weird circumstances.
Okay, I see Trina answer. She said it's Jakia Scales, and I know I've made flyers for Jakia. I hope I said that right, Jakia. I hope I said that correct. I have made flyers for her, and they are on the page. But I'll see if I can do an update as far as what her age now would be and that kind of thing. See if I need to do that, and I'll get it reposted, and we'll get her on the show next week. Because I want to make sure I have it correctly updated before we cover it. But I know I have made flyers for Jakia, and I hope I said that right.
Yeah, it's a unique name. I like that name. Missing at age 4. That's so terrible.
Yeah, it is.
Tonight's featured case is going to be Natalie Hull. We're going to go ahead and talk about this case out of Wichita, Kansas.
Yeah, and actually I've done a flyer for her before, and this is actually now her second one. I was contacted by her mom again and asked to put another one out, so I did. She's missing since October 14th of 2022. She's 15, 5'7" to 5'8", 130 pounds. She has light brown or blonde hair and brown eyes. She may be on the south side of Wichita, possibly on Broadway. Again, she's 15, 5'7" to 5'8", weighs 130 pounds, has light brown or blonde hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Natalie's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9452 or 316-660-9456 or 316-263-6011 or KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Natalie located and back to where she needs to be.
You say she's 15, we're knee deep in school season. She needs to be in school. focusing on that. You know, I talked to Norm about it, and a high school diploma is really important. I mean, there's a lot of things that you could be prevented from doing in life, just basic things, just because you don't have a high school diploma. Nobody's telling you to, you know, become like a rocket scientist. Or, I mean, if you want to, if people want to learn, do it. I think learning's the best thing you can do.
Yeah.
But, you know, getting that high school diploma at least is very important and paramount in having a good future, as far as having, you know, options for yourself. So anytime I see anybody on this show that's old, that needs to be in school, I just really want to push that narrative that it's important to be in school.
And thank you, Roxanne, for that. And she says, anybody watching can help Ricky and Derek by becoming a sponsor. It's expensive to have these podcasts all over, and they do not get paid for the work they put in. It would be nice if we could all help with the podcast. As you can see by my name, the badge, I am a sponsor. Thank you for being here and sharing. We all want people found. Definitely want people found. Yeah, and you can also go to patreon.com/KMU pod, and we have a Patreon where you can donate there as well. So, yeah. So any help would definitely be appreciated.
Yeah. I'd love to learn. Back in school to study criminal justice. Y'all do an amazing job.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's a really good field to go into. I mean, to be kind of morbid, you know, crime's not going anywhere. You know, like sadly,
no, it's not.
We're never gonna stop doing this show because people go missing every week.
Yep.
It's sad, but you know, we're always gonna be here. What's up, Tatum?
Hey, Tatum, how you doing?
We're always gonna be here, but yeah, going into criminal justice, you know, it's a pretty safe field to go into as far as always having a job. It seems like.
Right. Yeah, I think I've created a missing persons monster, so to speak, with Tatum. I've taught her how to make flyers. She started her own page, Guardian Voices for the Missing nationwide, and getting those flyers up and rolling out there, and she's keeping herself really busy with that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And she's doing a good job.
Yeah, her flyers look great too.
Yeah,
that's cool. You showed her how to do that. Yeah, because like not all missing people flyers look good. You know, sadly, like, and honestly, anybody that makes any kind of flyer that's trying to bring somebody home, I don't care if it looks good or not.
Yeah.
You know, as long as it has information on there. But no, hers look great, and that's not always the case for missing person sites that are putting out flyers. Though, you know, hers look good. So, but again, anybody that you don't have to have a page to make a missing persons flyer. There's websites with templates. I mean, if you have somebody that's missing and you can't get a hold of Ricky or Tatum or any other site that's making these missing, you can go to Google and type in missing persons template, and there'll be some way that you can make one online. So, but Ricky, what are the main important pieces of information that a missing persons flyer needs?
When I'm doing a flyer, I like to I like good, clear pictures. I really don't like the filters or the effects or anything, you know. Unless that's all that's available, I really tend to shy away from those. But as far as information, I like, of course, their name, where they're missing from, how long they've been missing, their age, their height, their weight, hair and eye color. If you know their last known clothing description, if there's a vehicle involved, the description of the vehicle with the tag, any kind of piercings, tattoos, scars, anything like that would help, whether they have glasses, whether they wear braces, anything like that. I mean, the more information you can get out there, I think the better the chances of getting them found quickly.
And then one thing that you always have is you kind of require a case number, right?
Yeah, and the case number. I like to have the case number, yeah, if at all possible.
Right. So that way you know that the police are looking too. Yeah. It's an actual missing person, not just somebody who doesn't want to be found, essentially.
Asking for any kind of updates on Jaden Jones. I'm trying to remember. I'm looking in my files to remind myself. She was located. I don't know where. I don't have details on where she was located, but she was.
Hey, Shanna.
She was located safe. I was told that, so I do know that.
Yeah, I thought I saw her on the located safe reel.
Yeah, she is. She's on the located safe reel for tonight.
Okay, I was gonna say I thought we were covering her. I know I saw her name today, but yeah, I guess it was a located safe reel.
Getting back to what you were talking about,
yeah.
flyers, there's so often I'll see flyers and even posts, that just basically all they have is sometimes just a first name, not even a last name, and they won't even have, and they'll have the age, but they won't even have a height, weight, hair, eye color, nothing. Just like John 30, missing from here. Any information, call this number.
Yeah.
Okay. Can
Which
you give
again,
us a
a
little
missing
more?
person's flyer is good if it has their picture and it says the word missing. That's a good flyer. But you're right. It is important to have important pieces of information just to help move things along and actually get some resolutions with these things. Let's talk about Richard Beam. Wichita, Kansas case has been missing for a couple weeks now.
Okay, I was gonna look something up real fast as I saw Trina was asking any information if Kiara Clay had been located, and I'm not gonna even speculate until I look here. Let me look in my files here. I'm scrolling.
I feel like we covered Dakira.
I'm not finding her in my files here. Let me look at I remember the name very well. I just want to make sure here. Why do I not have her in my files?
I'm not
That's bizarre. I'll have to do some research on that after the show and see what I can find out. Because I know I did a flyer for her, because as soon as I saw the name, I was like, I remember that name.
Yeah.
I'll have to do some digging. See what I can find out.
Tatum says she was located safe. She made a flyer for her.
Oh, that's right. I think she made the flyer. I didn't. That's right. I think you did the flyer. I did not. I didn't. You got it before I could get to it.
So
one of the advantages for her, one advantage for Tatum is she works from home. So
yeah. Did we? Is that one that you sent me tonight for the located safe reel?
I don't remember.
One of the 10 you sent me.
I don't remember.
It don't matter. We can put it on.
I don't think it was. We can put it on. Anyway, getting back to Richard Beam now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Richard Beam, he's missing from Wichita, Kansas since October 21st, 2022. He's 17. He's 5'8", weighs 120 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. Don't have any much more than that, actually. So if you have any information regarding Richard's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9452 or 316-660-9456 or 316-263-6011. Or the KBI at 785-296-4017. See if we can't get Richard located and back to where he needs to be.
Yeah.
Yep.
She said that's her friend's daughter. That's why she was worried.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Tatum says she was located safe, so that's good.
Brandon, I sent you located safes on Facebook. I don't know if maybe they didn't go. I've been having trouble with my phone all day. I had a headache from my phone today because it just would not send messages to my office. I think I got to go to Verizon and see if there's something wrong with it because it's just acting funny. Let's talk about Bonita Jaden Wallace.
Okay. Well, we did cover her last week, but I put her back up again because I got some additional information over the course of the week on her again. She's missing from Kansas City, Kansas since October 11th, 2022. She's 15 years old. She's 5'5", 130 pounds. She has brown hair that's dyed black and red, and she has brown eyes. I believe she's still in the Kansas City area. Again, she's 15, 5'5", weighs 130 pounds. She has brown hair that was last known to be dyed black and red. The red is faded, and the underside of her hair is shaved, and she has brown eyes. She has a small tattoo of 2 black triangles on her upper right arm and a birthmark on the back of her right leg. That was the new information I was asked to add. Bonita was last seen wearing a pink and blue hoodie and blue jeans. If you have any information regarding Bonita's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department at 913-596-3000. or KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't help get Bonita located and back to where she needs to be.
Yeah, it's been quite a while.
Yeah, it has been.
Heather says, what does the little flag mean next to my comments? I don't see a flag. Oh, if you have an iPhone, you might. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I need to update my phone more than likely. I'm not sure why you have a
I don't know either.
flag next to your comment. I'm not sure
Huh.
at all. It's not from us, I don't believe.
Yeah, I don't think it's from us.
Well, hopefully Benita can get home. That's we're not long from being a full month of her missing, so that's not good. We need to get her safe. We'll go out of state again. Let's talk about Desiree Ann Ferris, Liberty, Missouri.
Yeah.
And it looks like we've covered her before because she's been missing for a while.
It's been a while, yeah. She's missing from Liberty, Missouri since May 1st, 2017. She was 18 when she went missing. She would now be 23. She's 5'1", weighs 101 pounds, has brown hair and brown eyes. Her family reported her missing to Liberty Police on Thursday, May 4th, 2017. They had last seen her in the afternoon on Monday, May 1st, when she left her residence in an unknown vehicle. Calls to her mobile phone go straight to voicemail. And the other information I know about that was apparently she had been hanging out with those folks that she had left with, and she wanted to hang out longer. So apparently one day she stayed out longer, obviously, and then went missing shortly after that. But again, at the time of her disappearance, she was 18. She would now be 23. She's 5'1", weighs 101 pounds, has brown hair and brown eyes. She may be wearing a fuzzy pink jacket and a cream-colored crop top. She may also be carrying a tan purse. If you have any information regarding Desiree's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Liberty, Missouri Police Department at 816-439-4701 or the TIPS hotline at 816-474-8477. And there is a reward of up to $12,500 available for information leading to Desiree's whereabouts and also arrest and conviction of anybody responsible for her disappearance. And there is firm belief that there are multiple people that knows what happened to her, and they are just absolutely not cooperating with police at all.
Fear is a hell of a motivator, man.
Yeah.
If something bad happened to Desiree, they're probably skeptical to say anything because they're worried it would happen to them. But this is something I kind of want to talk about. And obviously Desiree did not deserve to go missing. Everybody deserves to want to stay at a party and have fun. Nothing she did was wrong. But it's kind of like you have to keep your head in the game. That is, I'm sorry, but if your friends are leaving and you're at a party and you decide to stay behind by yourself, that's dangerous behavior. That's a risk you're taking. And it sounds like for Desiree, it was a bad risk that didn't work out for her. It's just like 3 nights before Halloween, my kids were messing around and I told them to quit 2 or 3 times, Ricky. I said, hey, guys, calm down, quit doing what you're doing. And they didn't listen. And then my son rolled his ankle, sprained his ankle severely, and didn't get to trick or treat.
Oh, man.
I was like, he's like, well, this isn't fair. I'm like, no, I warned you. I told you twice that you were going to do something. It's like, so it's just, I hope people really pay attention and live on purpose because, I just think Desiree just wanted to have fun, but there's some really messed up people out there. And if you don't have people watching your back, if you're all by yourself somewhere, then that's dangerous behavior.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think she was out initially by herself. She was out, I believe, with her sister, and they went back and dropped the sister off.
I thought you had said that she wanted to stick around.
Yeah, she did. She was with her sister, and then I guess they dropped her sister off at home. She decided she wanted to stay out, so they went ahead and went on back out again without the sister.
Yeah.
So,
and again, that's just that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's harmless fun, but obviously somebody else had some different intentions that night.
Yeah.
So it's just sad. Over here to the red flag comment, Rodney saying that means you're a milestone follower of this page.
Yeah.
Okay. Andrea Lynn is here, Junction City. She's late. It's no problem. We got plenty of time left. And then Roxanne Fisher Jackson says some friends aren't true friends either. I think you learn that quickly whenever you have several people not talking about something like that. You're like, I don't think you were that close of a friend with them if you have information that could help bring them or their remains home.
I want to
know what I mean?
Show you the shirt that I'm wearing tonight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yep. I'm going to bring Desiree shirt home. shirt. My Bring Desiree Home shirt.
I didn't know
Decided
that.
to wear that tonight. I've
That's
had
awesome,
that for some time. I've actually got 2 of them. I got sent one, and then I can't remember how much time went by. I got a second one, and I messaged her mom, and I said, "Why did I get a second one?" She said, "Well, I felt like the quality on the first one wasn't that great, so they sent out another one." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Nice. Hey, you'll wear them, man.
Yeah,
Diana Hayden says she's late. It's no problem.
no problem,
We're
Diana.
here having a
Glad
good
you're here, and
time.
that's all that matters.
Let's come back to Kansas. Let's go to Topeka. Let's talk about Colton Zock, I
Yeah.
believe is the last name.
I was thinking it's Zuck.
Okay.
I actually did his flyer this morning. He's missing from Topeka since yesterday, November 2nd, 2022. He's 15. He's 5'8" to 5'9" tall, weighs between 120 and 126 pounds, has brown hair and brown eyes. He went missing from the area of 29th and Gage, but could possibly be in the area of 10th and Oakley in Topeka. And if you have any information regarding Colton's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Topeka, Kansas Police Department at 785-368-9247 or 785-368-9551 or 785-368-9200 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Colton located and back home to where he needs to be.
Yeah. Probably got a lot of people worried sick.
Yeah, and Trina, I like what, if you know something, say something. If you see something, say something as well. There you go. Yep. If you know something, say something. If you see something, say something. Definitely. Absolutely. Yeah.
And then
Because I'm a firm believer.
also, go ahead.
So I'm a firm believer that, in all of these cases, somebody knows something.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of doing the right thing, speaking up, say, hey, here's the information I have.
Yeah.
And
if you're out there and you're missing on your own accord, things are going, you just wanted to be alone and you want to get home, you can always call 1-800-RUNAWAY. That's 800-786-2929.
Right.
That's you'll find that on kmupod.com, along with a list of other resources that Ricky feels like are good resources until somebody proves us otherwise.
Right.
But we feel like there's a lot of great resources on the website there, and that's one of them. So anybody that is out and about and wants to go back home, 1-800-RUNAWAY. Again, that's 800-786-2929.
Definitely.
We cover her every week, everybody, and we're going to continue covering her till we get some information. And we're going to go back to Missouri. Let's talk about Dana Jane Bruce.
Okay. Oh, she's way down here. Okay. Missing from Sedalia, Missouri since October 4th of 2008. She was 23 when she went missing. She's now 37. She's 5'2", weighs 98 pounds. She has brown hair and green or hazel eyes. She was last seen at her children's babysitter's home in Sedalia. She had left the children there earlier that day so she could go out for that evening. She returned at midnight, gave the babysitter more money, and asked her to watch the children for the remainder of the night. She was last seen at Malone's Bar on Main Street with a young man driving a late model red Ford F-150 truck earlier on the night of her disappearance. She left with the man at 11:30. Police have identified the man Dana was with that night. He traveled to Atlanta, Georgia after her disappearance, and police questioned him about her disappearance after he was arrested there on unrelated charges of marijuana possession and driving on a suspended license. Authorities have not named him publicly, but they are calling him a person of interest in her case. He told his questioners that he and Dana parted ways after they left the bar, and he never saw her after that. She left all of her belongings behind, including her hairbrush and toothbrush. She does not have any credit cards, debit cards, checking account, cell phone, or a car. Again, at the time she went missing, she was 23. She would now be 37. She's 5'2" and weighs 98 pounds. She has brown hair that was colored brown at the roots, black at the ends with red highlights and green or hazel eyes. She was last known to be wearing a black shirt with the word Rebel and silver lettering on the front and blue jeans. Dana has a tattoo of a teddy bear with wings and the name Dylan on her upper left arm. She's blind in her left eye. Dana has a 2-inch scar along her lower spine and a staple scar on her right shoulder. Her ears are pierced 1 time each. If you have any information regarding Dana's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Sedalia, Missouri Police Department at 660-827-7823 or 660-826-8100 or Missouri State Highway Patrol at 573-526-6178 or toll free at 866-362-6422 and see if we can't help get Dana located and back to where she needs to be.
Ellen says, thank you for covering Dana. Her son Dylan turned 18 today, and her daughter
Oh,
Desi
wow.
turned 16 not too long ago.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Well, happy birthday, Dylan.
Yeah, happy birthday, Dylan.
I'd love to talk to this person of interest, see what he knows.
Yeah. Don't even
Seems
know
a
who
little
he
like,
is.
oh, I just dropped her off and never left. Dropped her off and then drove way far away. It's like, okay.
No, don't even know who he is. They've never named him.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Somebody knows that information, though. Like, somebody knows who she was drinking with that night. You know, I mean, it'd be a lot of phone calls and a lot of digging.
Yeah, it would be.
She says they were 2 and 4 when she disappeared.
Oh, my.
That's terrible.
Wow. They're 16 and 18 now. My goodness. I couldn't imagine wanting to know, being a kid and wanting to know, what happened to mom.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Hmm.
Well, I'm going to mess this up. Is it Jadrian?
Yeah, Jadrian Temple, but she goes by Jade.
Okay.
And she is missing from Wichita since Halloween, October 31st of this year. She's 16, 5'4", weighs 140 pounds. She has blonde hair that's dyed black, but it is fading and the blonde is starting to come back. It's believed she's still in the Wichita area. She was last seen on October 31st, Monday morning, leaving for West High School in Wichita. She never returned home and she never went to classes that day. And she's 16 years old. She's 5'4", weighs approximately 140 pounds. She has blonde hair. Again, it was last known to be dyed black, but it's fading back to blonde and blue eyes. If you have any information regarding Jade's disappearance, or you know her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9452 or 316-660-9456 or 316-263-6011 or KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Jade located and back to where she needs to be. It's a unique name there, Jadrian. I like that.
Yeah, it's a really cool name.
Yeah.
And it's not that it's actually not, it looks hard to say, but once you start reading it, it sounds just like it looks.
Yeah.
Jadrian. But I've never seen it before. That's probably why
I think that's the first time I've ever seen it.
Really cool name though.
Yeah.
And Jade's cool too. I like Jade. The name Jade. I had one of the girl who her locker was next to me from freshman year to senior year was Jade. She was cool. Her name was Jade, and she was cool. Let's talk about Lauren Dauber. She's been missing since September. Looks like she's having a birthday too.
Yeah, her mom got a hold of me about an hour and a half before the show tonight and asked me if I could make some updates to her flyer. And I said, sure. I said, let me do that for you, and we'll get her on the show tonight. And she's missing from Sedgwick County, Kansas, since September 17th of this year. She was 15 when she went missing. She's now 16. She's 5 foot tall, weighs 95 pounds, has brown hair and hazel eyes. It's believed she's with her boyfriend, Julian Velasquez, who's also considered a missing, endangered runaway. It's also believed they're still in Wichita. Again, when she went missing, she was 15. She's now 16. She's 5 foot tall, weighs 95 pounds, has brown hair and hazel eyes. And her mom asked me to add that Lauren's belly button is pierced and that she wears braces on her teeth. And if you have any information regarding Lauren's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Sedgwick County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 316-660-9452. Or 316-660-9456, or 316-660-9478, or 316-660-3900, or the KBI at 785-296-4017, and see if we can't get Lauren located and back home where she needs to be.
That's probably tough on a parent when your kid's missing and they have a birthday.
Yeah.
That's probably really tough. Well, hopefully she's fine and hopefully ready to go home.
Yeah, hopefully. And I know I've got a flyer for the boyfriend too. And if I'd have read her flyer a little closer when I was updating, I would have pulled his and done his tonight too. Because I do have one for him.
Brandon's got a located safe for us, a delicious one. He's so good at his job. Let's talk about. I said Brandon's got a. He just posted in private chat. He's got a brand new, brand spanking new located safe video for us.
Oh, I was like, what are you talking about? Had me messed up there. All right, Alex Perez.
We are less than a month away from.
Yeah.
Anyway,
definitely.
Go ahead.
He went missing December 1st, 2020. He was 35 when he went missing. He'd now be 37. He's 5'11", weighs 235, has black hair that he shaves nearly bald and brown eyes. He called a family member on December 1st, said he'd be coming over to do some laundry. He never arrived at the family member's home in Ulysses, and he's not been heard from or seen by family or friends since then. He had been staying with family and friends prior to his disappearance. It's believed that Alexander may still be in the local Ulysses area, or he may be in the Garden City, Kansas, or surrounding areas. And at the time of his disappearance, he was 35. He is now 37. He's 5'11", weighs 235 pounds. He has black hair that he shaves nearly bald and brown eyes. He has a tattoo of a bumblebee on his face underneath his left eye. He has Perez tattooed on one of his arms and a tattoo of a cross on a chain across his chest. And if you have any information regarding Alexander's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Grant County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 620-356-3500 or Ulysses, Kansas Police Department at 620-356-4600 or KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't help get Alex located and back home to his family where he needs to be.
Kelly says she has a bad feeling about this case.
Yeah. And again, I have to thank Roxanne for the pictures of the tattoo of the cross on the chain because she managed to run across them in a different missing persons group and send them to me so I could add them way back when to his flyer. So I was really glad to get those.
Shayna says the same. She says she thinks someone did it, man, and it breaks her heart.
Yeah.
We do have his voicemail we can play, of course.
Sure.
All right. This is December 6th, 2020 voicemail.
I don't know, man. I'm supposed to be going back early morning to go get some shit and then go get some other stuff down there and bring it back down here, but I don't even know, man. It's been wild down there. It's been crazy. Fucking been held at gunpoint and robbed and tried to beat me up. It's a bunch of crazy shit going on in GC, man.
Yeah. GC being Garden City, of course.
Yeah.
Hopefully they find him. Yeah, we've been doing his flyer nearly 3 years now. 2 years. Be 2 years in December.
Yeah. Same here, Kelly. I don't like playing it, but we have to. You know, it's like we want people to know that this is a real person missing, not just a picture. You know.
Right.
Well, let's talk about Glenda Bullard. Looks like a Lincoln, Kansas case.
Yep, this is this week's Kansas cold case playing card case is what this one is for this week. Okay. She's missing from Lincoln, Kansas since November 1st of 2017. She was 38 when she went missing. She would now be 43. She's 5'6", weighs 180 pounds. She has brown hair and green eyes. She was last seen in Lincoln on November 1st. She stated she was leaving to go to Texas to be with family. She has not shown up in Texas, and she's had no contact with family since then. Again, at the time of her disappearance, Glenna was 38. She's now 43. She's 5'6" and weighs 180 pounds. She has brown hair and green eyes. Some sources list her eyes as brown. If you have any information regarding Glenna's disappearance, or you know her whereabouts, please call Under Sheriff Dustin Florence at the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office, 785-524-4479, or you can call the KBI at 800-572-7463 and let them know what you know about Glenna's disappearance and see if we can't get her located and back home.
Yeah. Long time ago, 2017.
Yeah. Yep.
Sad. Well, those cold case cards are really cool, though. I'm glad that they exist, and
Yeah.
I'm glad that your flyers were so paramount in helping, get those made, and hopefully it does a lot of good work in the jailhouses. Hopefully it gets some people talking.
Right. I hope so.
Yeah. Let's talk about Jamie Tolliver. This is an out-of-state case.
Yeah, this is another Kansas City. She went missing back in April 14th of 2017. She was 29 when she went missing. Should now be 34. She's 5'3", weighs 125 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. She was dropped off on that evening near 38 Terrace in Oakley in Kansas City. Her family has not heard from her or seen her since. Jamie was 3 or 4 months pregnant when she went missing. And at the time of her disappearance, she was 29. She's now 34, 5'3", weighs 125 pounds. She has brown hair and brown eyes. She has a Monroe piercing above her left upper lip and a chin piercing. If you have information regarding Jamie's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Kansas City Police Department's Missing Persons Unit at 816-234-5136, or you can call 911 or Missouri State Highway Patrol at 573-526-6178, or their toll-free number 866-362-6422. And there's also another number with KC Police Department, 816-234-5220 as well. And let them know what you know regarding Jamie's disappearance and see if we can't get her located and back home where she needs to be.
Wow. Another 2017.
Yep. I dug that one out tonight. I decided I wanted to get Desiree's updated, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do Jamie's too. Yeah. So I was reading somewhere where they just recently found some human remains in a backyard in a residence in Kansas City here just within the last week or so, I think it was. And the house that they found the remains buried in was a rental house. So it wasn't owned by one. I mean, it's owned by one person, obviously, but it's a rental. So, they're going to have to go back and dig through rental records to see if they can maybe track down who might have done it. And then, of course, they got to identify their remains. So, and here recently in Kansas City, they've had several sets of remains found over the last probably couple of months.
Really? They're just like finding bodies?
Yeah. I mean, I can't remember how they come to find one in the backyard. I think the person that lives there now was doing something in the backyard and was digging and come across them or something like that. I can't remember. I'll have to look.
Well, who knows what's going on, but there's an alleged that girl that got away from a guy that had her, in bondage, and then she's saying that there were other. Yeah, she was saying that he had killed other women, but there's been speculation in the Black community for like over a year now that there's a serial killer loose in the Kansas City area. So
yeah, that's what some people are thinking. Of course, police department's saying no. There's nothing to substantiate that.
Right.
But other people firmly disagree. So
yeah, who knows? But I mean, me and Norm were talking one time. I think that like if you go to like Wikipedia, they say that at any time there's anywhere from like 50 to 100 active serial killers in America at all times.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I know, I can't remember how many years ago it's been, but FBI put together I guess they called it an initiative investigating the possibility that some of them were over there truck drivers, and they were saying, and they thought there was one operating, was it between Oklahoma, Texas, and Arkansas, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been several years back. I never heard any more information on that one, but I remember him talking about that several years back. So
I put a question on here. What case got you into true crime? I think this is an answer. Lamaya Schaefer, or is she tagging somebody?
Well, we've covered Lamia Schaefer's flyer last week, actually.
Last week, okay.
She's still missing. I haven't heard any more updates on her. I keep listening for more.
Wow. Kelly said they had a case in Arkansas where a lady got kidnapped recently and was 31 weeks pregnant. People who killed her removed the fetus from the woman, and they were found dead on separate days. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Mean, it's just awful.
That's just crazy.
There's no shortage of evil, weird people on this planet. That's for sure.
Man.
Let's talk about Sasha Kosminski, or Sasha Brooks. We've covered her we've covered this case several times in the last couple of years. In the
Yeah.
last 2 years we've been doing this, but is there any kind of update on this? Or I always like
The
to
only
ask
thing I
people
was able to update is her age now. I mean, she went missing from Newton on December 16th, 2020. She was 36 when she went missing. I updated that she would now be 38.
Okay.
She's 5'5", 165 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. Not much else known about her disappearance. I wish I could find out more.
Yeah.
If you have any information regarding her disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call Newton, Kansas Police Department at 316-284-6030 or the Harvey County, Kansas Communications Center at 316-283-4190 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. See if we can help get Sasha located and back to where she needs to be. Again, there's another one coming up on 2 years here pretty soon, too.
Wow. Yeah. It's next month.
Yeah.
That's no good.
So they're
Tatum's saying
saying
they made an arrest in the Arkansas case with that pregnant lady, so that's good.
Oh, wow. No, here's a question. Here's some answers to that question about what true crime got you in, what case got you into it. Rodney's saying Richard Grissom for him, which, yep, I read a book on him. And Kelly's saying Ted Bundy and BTK got her into true crime, but she's always been into it since she was really little, watching America's Most Wanted and Cops with her dad.
Yeah.
I like Cops and America's Most Wanted too.
Yeah, that's what got me into it, was Unsolved Mysteries and stuff, Cops, stuff like that. I got into what's Richard Grissom? That one's like escaping me for some reason.
He's a serial killer that he had victims in both Wichita and over by Kansas City. And I can't remember how many victims he had total, but he was, pretty violent.
Wow.
Yeah. I think for me, what got me is, of course, I used to watch Cops and America's Most Wanted too, but I think what really got me was I used to work at a truck stop out here on the north end of town, here in town. And there was one particular day, one of the guys out on the drive lanes, he was out there cleaning and he'd come back in and somebody had left one of them True Detective magazines out there at one of the diesel pumps, and he brought it in. And I said, let me see that for a minute. And I got to flipping through it a little bit between customers, and then went on my lunch break a little while later, and I took it with me and was sitting there flipping through it and reading through it while I was on my lunch break, and that got me hooked.
Yeah.
That got me hooked. So it wasn't any one case. It was just coming across that one magazine.
Yeah.
And from there, it was just, books on the mob. It was books on serial killers and, individual cases and things like that.
Yeah, I'm always curious how people. Trina says they need to check the borders. I know we have human sex trafficking taking place, especially to the south of us.
Yeah.
I think that's just everywhere. It's all over the place.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was also going to share something else today that I had ran across on Facebook from the Wabunsee County, Kansas Sheriff's Office. It was on Halloween. The Wabunsee County Sheriff's Office was alerted to a possible exploitation of a child. Detectives and deputies of the Wabunsee County Sheriff's Office responded immediately to investigate a residence located on the 400 block of East Flint Hills Drive, Lake Wabunsee. On scene, Wabunsee sheriffs made contact with 20-year-old Mr. Derek Yarnell Mayfield of Henderson, North Carolina. It's alleged that he had flown from North Carolina to Kansas to meet a young girl, a resident of Wabunsee County. Mayfield is alleged to have made contact with the young girl online. Evidence discovered on scene led to the arrest of Mayfield for aggravated indecent liberties with a child, contributing to a child's misconduct and unlawful visual depiction of a child. Mayfield was transported from the scene and is currently being held in Wabunsee County Jail on a $100,000 bond. The child was made safe and taken into protective custody. And as always, they remind all suspects are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. So, yeah. And that's what I say, man. I've said it before, right now our kids are so easily accessible for these guys. It's just ridiculous, with apps and with phones and computers and even online gaming with Xbox and PlayStation and stuff. I mean, they're even going through apps like that and through Kick and through TikTok and through Instagram and through Facebook and everywhere else.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we just got to be careful and keep an eye on our kids and make sure we know. And it doesn't help when they're coming out with apps that allows people to conceal their conversations. It'll say, oh, this is a calculator app. But in reality, it's an app to hide your conversations.
Yeah.
And it makes it even harder to keep an eye on your kids when they come out with crap like that.
Yeah. It's no good. No bueno whatsoever. You just got to educate your kids. That's what I do. I just tell my kids, I'm like, there's people out there that want to hurt you real bad. So might want to pay attention when you're out there. Might want to.
That's what I'm telling myself. There are people out there that will hurt you and do things to you, and it won't even bother them one bit that they're doing it.
No
won't bother me in the least little bit that they're doing it to you.
Don't care. Well, we got one more case to cover, then we're going to do our located safe. This is one we cover often. This is Kenny Wright-Check, a Salina, Kansas case, and Ricky's going to tell you all about him.
Yeah, Dana Hayden just brought up a good point real quick. She said women are gathering kids for their boyfriends and husbands too. Yeah, I've read several cases of that as well. You're right. Okay, yep. Kenny's missing from here in Salina, Kansas since November 4th, 2019. He was 69 when he went missing. He's now 72. He's 5'9", weighs 175 pounds. He has gray hair and blue eyes. He sometimes uses his last name Brown instead of his given name of Wright-Check. He does suffer from diminished mental health capabilities, and he's on disability, but he's not tried to access the funds since he was last seen. He may have family in Northwest Kansas, possibly around the Colby area. He was last seen at the Gospel Mission in Salina. He left there and has not been seen or heard from since then. He does not have a phone, a vehicle, or any identification. His main mode of transportation was, bicycle that he rode around and pushed around, picking up scrap around town and taking it over to what used to be Salina Iron Metal. It's now All Metal Recycling. For a few extra bucks here and there, because from what I understand, his payees weren't very easy to get money from when he wanted money, so he was resorting to selling scrap. But again, at the time of his disappearance, he was 69. He's now 72. He's 5'9", weighs about 175 pounds. Has gray hair and blue eyes. Have any information regarding Kenny's disappearance, his whereabouts, please call the Salina, Kansas Police Department at 785-826-7210 or KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Kenny located and found and back to where he needs to be. Yeah, 3 years tomorrow for him. That's right, Trina.
Yeah.
November 4th, 2019. Yep, 3 years tomorrow.
Wow. Well, hopefully we get some news or something. I want to find out if those checks are getting cashed at least. I'm going to see if I can. Maybe my wife would know that. She's a case manager for people in Kenny's situation. I might ask her if there's any way to ask who would ask if those checks are being cashed, though.
Yeah. And Diane is asking, was his bike ever found? I've heard conflicting reports on the bike. I was told that his original bike had been stolen and he had gotten another one. And I'm not sure what became of the other one. But then that's what I've heard. So I don't know. I mean, I'd like to find that out too, whether it was found or not. Because I was told his original was stolen and was replaced. So I don't know for sure. Yeah, but Roxanne thinks she really wishes that Kenny could be found safe. She says, I do all of them, but Kenny is a special case in some ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I used to sit there and chat with him, visit with him in gas stations when you could still find pinball machines and video games in gas stations. And back when I was a teenager. So that's kind of dating myself a little bit there. But yeah, I would stand there and visit with him and chat with him. And he was just, a really nice guy to talk to. And he was a heck of a pinball player, let me tell you what.
Yeah.
But, I never heard him say a crossword to anybody about anything. I can't say the same for other people because I used to hear people say some pretty, derogatory things to me. Or to him, they would call him a name in particular, and I won't repeat it. But it's stuck with me all these years, and I've never liked it. But I just hope wherever he's at, he's living a good life and he's okay. He probably, he may be out there living in a homeless camp somewhere and not even know that he's missing.
That's what I hope.
So I don't know. I mean, I keep hoping that, but like I've talked about before, we've had such blistering hot summers and freezing cold winters. It's just hard to know.
Yeah. Well, I hope we hear something someday. We've been covering them ever since I met you, and we're going to keep covering them until we hear something. But we're going to do a Located Safe. You're watching the Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. Go to kmupod.com to learn more about this show and what we do.
No, it's like those Located Safe reels. Brandon does an awesome job with those.
Yeah, he does. So
I'm really
quickly.
grateful that he does those. I sure couldn't do it.
I sent him the pictures at 6:46.
Oh, wow.
That's why he never saw him. Well, I got him late from you. But good show, man. Yeah. And then next week we will be back on Tuesday, and then I'm guessing no show the week after. It'll be Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, probably not. I don't know. I mean, we probably won't have very many viewers if we tried to do one that day.
No,
so probably have to try to do it. Definitely not Friday because that's Black Friday, and I know where I'll be.
Yeah, you'll be working. Well, worst case scenario, we'll just take the week off. But this is the holiday season. Yeah, we'll figure it out. But it is the holiday season, so we definitely want to, put as many shows out as possible because these are, this is the where it hurts the most for people that are missing their loved ones.
Yeah. You're welcome, Diane. She says she never wants to stop. She says thank you for all you do, and I never want to stop thanking you all. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. You're very welcome. And Kelly says she'll be around, and Trina says thank you for all that y'all do. Keep up the awesome work. We're doing our best, Trina. We're doing our best. Matter of fact, I just kind of peeked in my email just a minute ago while we were doing Located Safe, and I've got a flyer request on my email waiting for me. So I'll be right back and making flyers as soon as we get done here. And Trina says she'll be around, laid up in bed recovering from surgery. Oh, wow. Well, I hope that goes well, Trina.
Yeah.
I'll say a prayer for you. Yeah. I'm writing some notes here. But, yep, we'll go ahead and close right like we normally do by saying, Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us together tonight to go over these cases. And, like I always pray, I hope they find the right people with the right hearts that'll do the right thing and tell what they know so we can get these people found and brought home. We always pray that they're located safe, but we know that ultimately that doesn't always happen that way. And we just pray for peace and comfort for the families that when their loved ones are found, that they're not found safe. But we'll keep praying that they are found safe, and we'll keep trying to get them found safe. But until next week, everybody stay safe. God bless. Take care, and amen.
Best rate for the win. I'm Ashley McClure with IVP Benefits Consulting Group. We want to help you or your company find the best health, dental, and vision insurance rates available without sacrificing any benefits. Call us at 620-904-7010 to find your winning rate.
This episode is sponsored by Big Fish Bail Bonds. Big Fish Bail Bonds is your first choice in bondsmen. We are located 3 blocks away from the Sedgwick County Jail in Wichita, Kansas. We accept all major credit cards and we accept payment plans on big bonds with no collateral in some cases. Find us at bigfishbailbonds.us or give us a call at 316-262-4100. Big Fish Bail Bonds. Big or small, we release them all.